A blistering summer day in Arizona. A sedan speeding toward desert pine trail. A 6-month pregnant woman dragged from her own home by her husband and his lover before she can call for help. But what happens next sends shockwaves across the entire state. They force her into an abandoned warehouse, bind her to a rusted support beam under the merciless heat, and broadcast her agony live for thousands to witness. They believe no one will interfere. They believe no one will find her. But they have no idea her sister is watching every horrifying second. And they have no idea how swiftly justice strikes when truth burns brighter than the desert sun. What follows is a battle for life, unbreakable courage, and a courtroom reckoning that will leave you breathless. Let us know what time you're watching and where you are from. Drop a comment below. We would love to hear from you. The afternoon heat in Phoenix felt like a living thing, pressing down on everything with relentless force. Desert Pine Trail, usually abandoned during the hottest hours, shimmered under waves of heat that made the air itself look unstable. The old warehouse stood alone, its windows broken, its walls scorched by decades of unforgiving sun. No shade existed for miles. No relief from the blazing sky that seemed intent on burning everything beneath it. A dark sedan pulled up suddenly, tires crunching over gravel and broken glass. The door flew open and Sarah Mitchell stumbled out, one hand protectively wrapped around her swollen belly while the other tried to shield her face from the blinding light. Marcus Mitchell appeared behind her, his expression hard and cold, the kind of look a man wore when he had already justified the unforgivable. Beside him, Jennifer Dawson stepped out slowly, her phone already raised, already recording, her lips curled into something cruel and satisfied. Sarah tried to back away, but Marcus grabbed her wrist and yanked her forward. Pain shot through her arm as her breath caught in her throat. 6 months pregnant and already weakened by the heat, she fought to stay upright. Sweat soaked her hair and clothes. She whispered Marcus's name, hoping desperately for a trace of the man she once loved. Marcus refused to meet her eyes. His jaw clenched tight as he dragged her toward the warehouse entrance. Jennifer lifted her phone higher. "Tell them the truth," she commanded, voice dripping with mockery. "Tell everyone what a liar you really are." Sarah's voice cracked. "Please, I did nothing wrong. Stop this." "That is not what he thinks," Jennifer said, tapping her screen. "And the world deserves to know who you really are." The live stream started immediately. Comments flooded in from viewers who had no idea what they were witnessing. Jennifer angled the camera towards Sarah's terrified face. The harsh sunlight illuminated every detail, the fear in her eyes, the trembling in her hands, the desperate way she tried to protect her unborn child. Marcus grabbed a length of chain from inside the warehouse. He wrapped it around Sarah's wrists and pulled violently. She cried out as the cold metal bit into her skin. He looped the rest around a thick metal beam, jerking it tight until Sarah could barely move. Her back pressed against the scorching metal. Every breath felt impossibly thin. "Marcus, please," she begged. "It is too hot, the baby, please." "You brought this on yourself," he replied coldly. Jennifer laughed and moved closer with the camera. "Smile for your audience. You wanted attention, now you have it." Sarah blinked rapidly as her vision began to blur. The warehouse trapped the heat like an oven. She felt her body screaming for water, for air, for mercy. At that exact moment, miles away, her sister Rebecca was finishing her shift at the hospital. Her phone buzzed with a notification from the Family Alert app linked to Sarah's account. The thumbnail looked wrong. Metal, chains, a woman's shape. Rebecca tapped the notification. The video opened and the world stopped. Her sister stood chained to a beam, face flushed crimson from heat exhaustion, eyes wide with terror. Behind her, Jennifer's mocking voice filled the speakers. Marcus moved into frame, adjusting the chains like he was securing cargo. Sarah begged softly, her voice breaking in a way Rebecca had never heard. Rebecca's hands shook violently as she grabbed her keys and sprinted to her car. She dialed 911 while starting the engine. "My sister," she cried. She is pregnant and they chained her in a warehouse. They are streaming it live. Desert Pine Trail. Send everyone now. Her voice cracked, but she kept driving, pushing the accelerator harder than she should have. Every second counted. Every moment felt stolen from Sarah's life. Back in the warehouse, the live stream continued. Sarah's head dropped forward as dizziness overwhelmed her. She tried to keep her eyes open to stay conscious to protect the life inside her. The floor swayed beneath her feet. Her lips dried and cracked. The world around her shimmered like a mirage. Marcus stepped back, satisfied. Jennifer moved the camera closer, capturing every moment of Sarah's suffering. "Look at her," Jennifer said. "Look what she does for sympathy." Sarah whispered again, "Please, the baby, please." Her voice was barely audible, the warehouse filled with heat and cruelty. The live stream flickered. Sarah's breathing turned dangerously shallow. Then in the distance, sirens began to wail. Rebecca's car skidded to a stop outside. She ran through the broken entrance, following the sound of voices. When she saw her sister chained and collapsing, something primal surged through her. "Sarah!" she screamed. Sarah's eyes flickered open. "Becca," she whispered. Rebecca rushed forward just as police vehicles surrounded the building. Officers poured in from every direction. "Drop the phone," one shouted at Jennifer. "Hands where we can see them." Marcus tried to run but was tackled immediately. Jennifer screamed as officers pulled her arms behind her back. The chains were cut. Sarah collapsed into Rebecca's arms. Paramedics arrived within minutes, lifting Sarah onto a stretcher. Rebecca held her hand the entire way to the hospital. At the courthouse 3 weeks later, the judge's voice rang clear. "For the crimes of kidnapping, assault on a pregnant woman, and attempted murder, I sentence Marcus Mitchell to 35 years. Jennifer Dawson, 20 years. Sarah sat in the front row, her hand resting on her belly where her daughter moved gently. Rebecca sat beside her, tears streaming down both their faces. That evening, Sarah stood before a small gathering at the newly opened Phoenix Women's Crisis Center. She spoke softly but firmly. "They tried to chain me to silence, but I survived. And now I stand here to tell every woman who has been hurt, who has been silenced, who has been afraid, you are not alone. This center is for you. Your voice matters. Your life matters. You matter." Applause filled the room. Rebecca wrapped her arms around her sister. Sarah closed her eyes, feeling the weight of everything she had endured and everything she had become. If this story moved you, please share it. Someone you know might need to hear that survival is possible, that justice exists, and that no one has to face their darkness alone. Drop a comment below telling us your thoughts. Your voice could be the light someone else desperately needs today.